Welcome to Scotland.
Hi, I'm Scott. Over the next few videos, I am walking the famous and epic West Highland Way, the most fated walk in Scotland. It's nearly 100 miles long, features amazing views, fab food and surprises us at every turn. I'm going to be camping this whole trip. I'll be alternating camping in campsites and wild camping. I'll be able to show you along the way some of the places I visited with, what has been quite a sour looking face in these pictures. Why was I making these sour faces? I walked along. I had the foresight to think to take these videos of me walking along for this bit and I'm just frowning. It's no good. But there's lots of pretty things to see. Lots of campsites that I can show you, where to get water, lovely locks, really lovely locks, and camping obviously, like I said, is a place where I was pictured. Well, you can watch the series and you can get behind what I'm talking about here. You can see these amazing places, use it as a guide if you like, or just enjoy the videos. Taking the steps down the stairs in my tenement. Oh God, I'm really gonna do this. An ominous beginning. Well, I hope I'm welcome in Milngavie today. I should be. So here we are, about to start the West Highland Way, and we're in Milngavie. And first things first, let's find a toilet. This is going brilliantly, no toilet at Costa either today. Found a toilet in the cafe just around the corner where they hang bears from the ceiling like this. Which is fabulous, love it. Might as well get on with this walk. Okay, that done. There is a water tap here and there are quite a few of these en route. So let's get some water and then we'll get the important things done. So I assume you know what the West Highland Way is. Path going up the west of Scotland, where I live. And it heads from here in Milngavie, just north of Glasgow, to Fort William, and it goes past many places. It goes past distilleries, hills, birds, mountains, caves, glens, railways, bridges, massive mountains in Glencoe, the Devil's Staircase, and at the very end we're going to go past Ben Nevis, but I don't expect to be climbing it. But yeah, we are going on the West Highland Way. Now the West Highland Way is just a walk in the park for the first mile. Even the walk in the park's really pretty. Someone really likes these stones on sticks things. Well, I just had to sit down to adjust the sock that was rucking up a little bit in the toe box, and I can tell you the midges start only a mile out, which I wasn't expecting that. I thought I might have at least half of today, 6 miles today before the midges, but no, they start in the country park. Furthest south I've really had a big problem with them when heading north of the central belt, so yeah, might smidge up. They're not that bad yet, I don't think I need to waste it. But yeah, on the plus side, mile done. 1 mile done, only 95 to go. So I'm actually starting this on a Tuesday morning in June, started about 10 o'clock. And nonetheless, in spite of the Tuesday, it's still a motorway. There's big groups going off, couples, individuals, lots and lots of people. June, in spite of the midges, and in spite of the kids still being at school, is still quite busy. We're not out of the woods yet. We're out of the woods. Update, we are back in the woods. I'll keep you posted. First hint of rain in the air. I'm sorry, I will at some point tell you a bit about myself, about the channel. I assume a lot of you have come here for the first time and haven't seen the small number of prior videos. But yeah, I'll do that when I get a good moment to just stop and have a chat with you. Or maybe just a nice flat bit of ground and no rain. Lovely little soggy spot here. About an hour in, you get to see this. Nice change from the woods. There's even some slightly tall bits over there. I'm not a massive fan of this surface, and I've got a feeling I'm going to be seeing a lot more of this and a lot worse for the next 92 miles. So we're arriving at Carbeth, and because of that I'd better get this out of the way and tell you who I am, because we're going through a place that I already know. My name's Scott. You probably have seen that the channel is called Scott Scotland, and my normal thing is to help people who are visiting Scotland know a little bit more about it. I have lived in Scotland for 12 years in Edinburgh, and so you'll probably see a lot of content around Edinburgh, but I do also like a walk. And you'd normally see me up in the Cairngorms or on the Southern Upland Way, on the less busy routes. And why am I doing the West Highland Way for the first time today? If I'm honest, it's because every time you say you like a walk in Scotland, people go, oh, you've done the West Highland Way, have you done it? And it looks like a great walk, but it also looks quite busy, which it has been today, but it's still pleasant, to be honest. And yeah, though I do like a walk. My dad was my scout leader. My dad passed last year, so that's another thing that made me think, I know he always wanted to do this one and he didn't, so maybe get it done this year. I'm now a teacher by trade. I've just qualified, having done lots of other jobs down the years. Been a dad mostly the last few years, working in schools in other capacities. Yeah, I do like the outdoors, I like Scotland, and I really like this place, because one time I did a much easier path called the John Muir Way, but it appeals because obviously John Muir is fantastic. Look him up if you don't know about him, or maybe I'll tell you now. And there's a path that goes all the way across Scotland, from or to Dunbar, from or to Helensburgh. My cap's going to fly off, bear with me. And it passes through this place. We're about to join the part of the West Highland Way that is part of the John Muir Way. And I've been here before, and it is an amazing place called Carbeth, which is, village is the wrong term, community of people came out here early in the 20th century and built their huts. And their huts, well, they're not huts, they are holiday homes, they are an escape to the countryside, and it was all part of that kind of independent movement that got us walking rights down in England, and generally got working people back out into the outdoors and normal people back out into the outdoors, especially here in Scotland, where a lot of the land we're going to be walking through was cleared in the 19th century by well-to-do people who wanted hunting estates and the poorer people off their land and all kinds of other things. So yeah, we are now going to come into Carbeth, and unfortunately the West Highland Way doesn't show you the best of Carbeth. The John Muir Way is a great way to see the best of Carbeth, so do that. And also, if you don't know the Trembling Bells, they've got a great song about Carbeth. Go and listen to it. You see much more than just a hut. It must be so amazing if you live in Glasgow or somewhere else to have access to one of these. It's like the ultimate little getaway. And with real history to it as well. My favourite ones of them are all hidden away in the woods over to the west of us, to the left. But yeah, pretty amazing place. Really interesting, spooky as well. So this is the prettiest, or the most famous I suppose, of the Carbeth huts. And everyone walks past it, and everyone looks at the sign. And I'm sorry if I'm filming your garden and you're watching this, but you must get your garden filmed all the time. But yeah, we've done 4 miles. I swear I'd already done 4 miles. This is more like 4.5. 92 to go. Go listen to that song. So I missed the bit where we joined the John Muir Way, but this is where it goes off to Strathern, or in my case I came down it from Strathern last time I was here. Nice little lump up ahead. I'm sorry about any wind noise on this journey. I ummed and ahed about bringing my windproof mic. I just decided it was just too much long weight and wouldn't be as waterproof. So, whoa, that was a good one. First trip of the trip. Better pay attention. Bijou, to say the least. It's teetering on the brink of me needing to put waterproofs on, but just teetering. It has been for a while, but that's not why I got the phone out and the camera out. I got the camera out to just say, look, this section, people always say it's not, it's a bit of a slog, it's not that exciting. If you don't live in England, if you don't live in Scotland, if you don't live in the British Isles, you won't always see this much green around. It's a very damp place, but it looks good off the back of it. I've got to stop tripping over. So for the last few miles, and still carrying on here, this is the John Muir Way, and I know I've been past the Beech Tree Inn, or near it, on the John Muir Way, and I know that I went as far as Carbeth on the John Muir Way, but yeah, bit confusing. I genuinely have no memory of walking down here in my life, but I obviously did. Just was about 7 or 8 years ago. Maybe 5. So just beyond the sheeplands is the Glengoyne distillery. They make whiskey there. I don't need any whiskey. I'll have a whiskey at the end. I'm not carrying it with me, it's crazy. Might come back one day though. Have walked past it twice without going in now. 6 3/4 miles done. And this is my last chance, I don't know if you can see that in the sunlight, to strike out for the distillery. Still not going to do it. Still not going to do it. Look, mini dudes. Hi mini dudes. Right then, the Beech Tree. Muddy boots welcome, they say, and they are. Beer garden, hot chocolate, cakes, coffee, drinks, toasties and main courses at £10. Why not join us to rest your feet? Oh, I think I will. Gonna have my main meal here today, so that I don't have to traipse into Drymen later on. This is where the Shetland ponies are. Mini beasts. Love a mini beast. Someone's taking a long time to write that, and I'm not stopping to read it because I want to actually get into the Beech Tree. bar, food, drinks and animals. Great. So just as Wing gets up, here's some more info on the John Muir Way, which passes here as well, and goes from Helensburgh all the way to Dunbar. And I've done that walk, but I didn't do that. I went from Dunbar all the way to Helensburgh because Dunbar's nearer to my house. So when I started, I did it in stages, and when I started, I didn't know I was going to do the whole thing. I've actually done the link now that links that to the Southern Upland Way and to the coastal path, Berkshire coastal path that goes down to Berwick-upon-Tweed. They're all a lot of fun. If you're staying around Edinburgh or Glasgow, get on the John Muir Way. It's worth it. Right, you need this info. This is when they're open, and notice the fact that half hour before they close, that is when they stop taking orders. We've got plenty of time, it's not even 1 o'clock yet, but if you want it on a Tuesday or a Wednesday like today, be here before 2:30. I don't think these guys are on the menu, are they? Well, when I arrived, the weather was quite nice. I went in to order, and it's no good.
Well, I was thinking I might change into shorts, and now I'm not.
But I've got a beer. Sorry, I've started scanning this without showing you. Nice pie and chips. Bit of salad. I don't know why I'm showing you it. It's just good. The first goat of the trip. Quail! Look at the quail! If you're not stopping at the Beech Tree for lunch, they've got ice cream, they've got cakes, sandwiches, crisps, M&Ms, they've got the works. Pony! I mean, it's not pony, it's great. Right, I've had 2 drinks. I've had a lovely steak pie lunch, chips, totally full. Don't need to worry about a big dinner tonight and heading into Drymen. Can just chill out at the campsite for the whole evening. Normally, when you're leaving the Beech Tree, you might want to fill up with water there, but I filled up with drinks there. Haven't had a drop since I left Milngavie, so I've still got a full bottle, and let's get going. So, excuse me, is this the right path for Fort William? Yes, you're on the right path. Thanks, nice dog. This is a nice, flat, unstumbly piece of pathway. And part of the reason for that, for the last few miles, has actually been, there used to be a railway. And it was only in the 50s it was taken away, and all across Scotland, you'll find these ex-railways, and much the same in England, that have been turned into footpaths and cycle paths. Some of them, though, starting to come back into public transport use, but I can't imagine this one's going to. So back earlier, before I took a dive, thankfully I didn't fall all the way over, I was telling you a bit about me. And what you might know me from is that I have another channel, which I do with my son, who's called Baz. Oh, have I said I'm called Scott? Hi, I'm Scott. That's why it's called Scott Scotland. So, myself and Baz are partners in crime for Roller Baz and Coaster Dad, which is very different from this. It's about roller coasters, of which we have very few in Scotland. But yeah, we go around and we test out roller coasters, and we say what we think of them, update people on new information about parks, and just generally hang out in theme parks having fun. So if that's your bag, get over to Roller Baz and Coaster Dad, try it out. If not, don't worry. I can only think of one time that we're going to do roller coasters on this channel, maybe 2. What did my lunch at the Beech Tree Inn cost? It cost me £20 and a few pennies. I did have a Coke and a Brewdog Nanny steak with my steak pie and chips. So factor that in. Aha! We've heard tell of these. It's a TARDIS. It's also an honesty box. But to be honest, I'm really full. I resisted the ice creams and cakes and many munchables. Yeah, looked pretty good. There was a cafe there as well if you get there in the daytime. It was selling some bits and bobs, all those sorts of things. In the honesty box, looked like it'd been fairly raided because it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But they had things like crisps and nuts and popcorn and bits and bobs. We will use one of these boxes at some point. When you think of Scottish woodland, you definitely think mainly of conifers and pines, firs, all in big plantations, all crammed together, no light. So it's really nice to be walking through this mixed woodland. And there's been a lot of that today. And, you know, in 100 or 200 years' time, there'll be a lot more of it across Scotland as more and more plantations getting replaced with more sustainable forms of forestry at the moment. But yeah, right now for today, it's lovely. I'm guessing that semi-distant lump there is Conic Hill, which is tomorrow's first problem. Long day tomorrow. Nice sloshy bit. And this is Gartness, where I believe there's an honesty box, and I might partake in this one. Just a little treat. We'll see. The bunting marks the honesty box. Let's have a little look. We've got ice cream. We've got... So, cornetas are £2. Everything else is £1.50. What have we got? Let's have a look. Oh, you can even scan and pay with PayPal. Fantastic. So, Fabs, Cornettos, Calippos, some kind of fruity number. And in the fridge part, oh, chocolate. Chocolate and cold drinks. Okay, let me get my money out and see what I'll get. Have you guessed? Have a think about it. Lock in your answer now. Congratulations, Team Cornetto. I don't know what you win. Pride. It's a passing place, and I'm passing this place. That's what we do in Scotland. We pass passing places. Sometimes we don't pass them though. We use them for passing. We're using the passing place. I think the Cornetto's gone to my head. Quick tip on the Cornetto honesty box. Stop and eat your Cornetto, rather than wandering off thinking, oh, I'm nearly at the end of the path for the day, I'll just eat it on the way, get there a bit quicker. Reason being, you turn the corner and there's a relatively steep road hill, and yeah, you just start mildly aspirating bits of cornetto cone. It's not the best. Tasty though. Right, another little option you got right next to Drymen camping is Duncan Family Farms glamping pods, apparently. DuncanFamilyFarms.co.uk. No idea what they're like, you can check them out. What's happening here? I think something is occurring. I think West Highland Way is straight on. And there you have the road to Ballock, which I took when I was doing the John Muir Way. So yep, goodbye John Muir Way, have a lovely time. Kind of weirded out by how much of this walk today I must have done before on the John Muir Way. I had no realisation that so much of it was shared with West Highland Way. I must have been asleep, but it was a few years ago. I guess I wasn't that bothered about where the West Highland Way went that day. Oh, I've just found a sign, and that sign says Drymen camping this way. Let's go. Oh, it's gone a bit whited out. Oh, that's better. Yeah, Drymen camping, half a mile. Show you the sign. I happen to know it's not half a mile. My GPS thing on my phone says it's 0.4, which is much better. Of course, we're finishing with a mild bit of road hill with blind bends, always lovely. Just in case you don't know, the rule in the UK if you're walking on the road in the countryside, or the guideline, is to walk on the right. But if you're going around a blind bend, go around the outside of the bend, they can see you better that way.
And if you're wondering why we stay on the right, it's because the traffic on your side of the road and you can both see each other. Speaking of traffic, there's a bike. The baking shed has a very good rep and it's right next to Drymen Camping. So I'll probably hit that in the morning rather than now. Well, you never know, a cup of coffee. Just had a cornet today, don't need it. I don't normally eat sugar. Just for reasons, family history of diabetes, don't want to follow it, but I'm kind of on free rein this week because obviously everything I eat will get burned through, but maybe not when I've just finished walking. So yeah, I will hit that in the morning. You'll be able to see that on a future video. Oh, like and subscribe. I'm being a YouTuber. Yeah, it's very important you like and subscribe because this is just the beginning. If you want to see more of this, like my review of Drymen Camping that's going to be coming up, and all the later stages and campsites and places I stay, if you want all of those things, you're going to have to like and subscribe. Thank you. This has been a message to like and subscribe. Caution, pedestrians. I caution, there's a big cow pat here. So, ultra buyer. I'm not certain of the first word, and I've lived here long enough, so don't be embarrassed. They're the place with the baking shed, so since I'm passing, we'll have a little peek at the options. But we'll come back and get the options tomorrow. So you've got Biscoff Rocky Road, brownie, which is gluten-free, energy bar, tablet, or inferior dreamy caramel crispy slice. But they're not here, and they're all £2. You just pop the money in there. There's no change on this one. QR code though. 20p charge. Right, so like I said, we'll come back in the morning for that after we've camped the night, because I don't need any more snacks right now. To show you how close that is, there's the bed and breakfast, and just along here on the left, here it is, Drymen Camping at the end of the day. Gonna walk right up to the sign. So once you visited the little purple place, they will take you around here and they will show you that there are flags, and you can pitch between any two of these flags. So in between them, and I'm going to have a little look around, choose a spot. Whoa, there's loads of spots. Okay, this should be easy. Let's get somewhere nice and flat and over here. Right, well I'm going around here somewhere, but the question is where? There's a slight slopey at the back. Come back to you in a second. Suddenly it was obvious I'm going between 15 and 16.
Well, it's only 7:30 and the sun is very much still in the sky, but I am going to go to bed so I can get an early start ahead of some rain tomorrow. And also, I got a long way to go tomorrow. So the facilities at Drymen Camping, you come in from here. There's this nice board telling you about all the things like the local pizza delivery and the menus for local restaurants. It's good to see that they like to recycle. Some spare gas been left by people who brought canisters that were way too big, or maybe they were on their last day coming north to south. Charging point looks like this. There's a couple of plugs there. And then 4 plugs and 5 USBs down there, so you've got plenty of choice and it hasn't been a problem overnight. Bit of a sink, another normal bin, and then through here you've got these 2 seating areas. I'm just having my breakfast. You've got the toilets there, you've got a toilet and a shower there, and another block of toilets and showers over there, and then all of this seating area, drying space. It's pretty good. I don't know why I didn't use the drying space last night now I think about it. I just dried everything in my tent. And there's drinking water through there, but also here. And then just there, you'll see there's a purple pod, that's the reception. And in the daytime, it's also a shop that sells chocolate, no alcohol beers, and soft drinks. It's been a really good place to stay. I've really enjoyed Drymen Camping. Highly recommend it. Should definitely come down, check it out, if you're on the West Highland Way. Well, thank you Drymen Camping, it's been great, a good way to spend £12, so cheap, so good. If you want to see what I'm going to do next, I'm heading off on the second day of the West Highland Way, so like, subscribe, you can come along with us.
Why am I saying us? I'm on my own. I'm not with my son this time. So like, subscribe, and you can come along. And see you next time on Scott Scotland.